everything, and you throw in 50 bags of salt for me.
Oh wow, sis, you really drive a hard bargain. Alright, 13,500, and it's yours.
If 13,000 is okay, I'll pay the deposit right now. If not, then forget it.
Alright.
I gave the boss a 50,000 yuan deposit and told him the address of the warehouse. After we agreed on the delivery time, we left. I spent the whole morning with my mom at the wholesale market buying grains and dried goods, while my dad stayed home reinforcing the house. Dad went to the building materials market, compared a few places, and chose one of them for the security bars. He chose both the security bars and the tempered glass door, both made of solid stainless steel. Since the security bars and tempered glass needed to be custom made, he paid a deposit of 10,000 yuan first. It was still early, so Dad went to the real estate agency to list the shop. One of the agents was Dad's friend. And when he saw Dad driving over, greeted him warmly.
Oh, Liu,
I'm planning to sell the grocery store. I'll leave this matter to you. Please try to get it done as soon as possible.
I remember your shop has a great location, and business is pretty good. Why are you thinking of selling it?
Sai, something happened at home, and I need some money to tie this over.
Alright, old Liu, just leave it to me. With your shop's great location, I bet it'll be sold as soon as it's listed.
My mom and I spent the whole day shopping. When we got back to the hotel, we tidied up a bit and went to bed early. The next morning, my mom and I bought a few buns from a street vendor. Mom was still full from last night, so today she could only eat one bun before she was too full to eat anymore. There were still 2 buns left, but I couldn't eat any more either. Having lived through the apocalypse, I can't bear to waste food, so when no one was looking, I put the buns into my storage space, planning to have them as a late-night snack. After breakfast, we went to the clothing wholesale market and bought 1,000 pieces each of women's underwear and bras, as well as men's underwear. We bought 500 pieces. Since these are close-fitting garments, we chose ones with slightly better quality, spending 20,000 yuan. The most expensive items were still the winter clothes altogether. The winter clothing cost nearly 100,000 yuan. In the evening, when we returned to the hotel, my mom was taking a shower in the bathroom while I recorded what supplies I had bought today. As I was writing, I started to feel a bit hungry. Remembering the steamed buns I hadn't finished this morning, I took them out to eat. Holding the buns, I suddenly felt like something was off. The buns from this morning were still a little warm. I took a bite and confirmed that the buns were exactly the same as when I had first put them into the space. After Mom finished her shower, I couldn't wait to go in and fill a kettle with water, then took it out to boil.
Ching Ching, do you want some hot water? I heard online that the kettles in hotels aren't very clean.
Mom, that's not it. I told Mom about what I just discovered. I suspect there must be a space in the dimension where everything is still. Or maybe there's a place where time flows much more slowly.
That's incredible. Before, I thought the flow of time inside the space was the same as outside. We buy so much rice and flour because we're afraid they might get infested with bugs. If there really is such a place, we could stockpile large amounts of vegetables and fruits. And meat too.
Yeah, vegetables aren't really a problem since we can grow them ourselves. It's the meat that's a bit troublesome. If there were such a place, we wouldn't have to worry about it anymore. After the water boiled, I poured the hot water into disposable cups, 6 in total, 1 for each room and 1 in the courtyard. The next morning, I took out the 6 cups of water from the space and found that, except for the cup in the storage room which was still hot, all the other cups were cold. It seems the storage room really does have a preservation function, to test whether time is completely still, or just moves very slowly in the storage room. I set an alarm clock and threw it into the storage room, planning to check it that night. When I returned to the hotel in the evening, I took out the alarm clock and examined it carefully. I found that the second hand seemed a bit different from when I put it in that morning. The storage room isn't completely still. Time just moves very slowly in there. Over the past half month, I've been constantly shopping for all sorts of things basically. If I could think of it, I bought it. Mom, after deducting the money I need to pay off my credit card, I only have 20,000 yuan left.
I'm almost tempted to just ignore the credit card bill maybe. It won't be a big deal if I don't pay it.
Mom, you can't just not pay your credit card. I remember in my previous life, a lot of people lost their jobs because of the heavy fog and extreme heat. As a result, people couldn't pay their mortgages or car loans. I don't know who came up with the idea of working off debt, but basically, those who owed money had to work for the government. Most of the time, that meant cleaning up corpses. Whether it was a mortgage, car loan, credit card, or online loan, everything would be checked thoroughly, and anyone in debt had to go work. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to receive relief food, and this system of working off debt only stopped after the big earthquake happened. So ever since I was reborn, I never thought about taking out any loans. Looking at the last 20,000 yuan I had left, I decided to buy all the snacks I wanted to eat. Early the next morning, my mom and I went to a snack wholesale store. I bought all the snacks I liked. After we finished shopping and returned to the hotel, we thought about it and realized there wasn't anything else we needed to buy in bulk for now. Mom suggested we head back and organize the things Dad had bought at home. Alright Mom, you go back first. There wasn't much left to do here, so after I finish packing up the remaining things in a couple of days, I can head back too. That day, after I put the last apple from the warehouse into storage, I checked the time. It was still early. I wanted to visit the school one last time, so I disguised myself, went out, and arrived near the school. Suddenly, I spotted a familiar figure. It was Wang Haiyang. Not long after, my roommate Lin Yuanyuan came out. Lin Yuan walked over to Wang Haiyang and naturally took his hand. Seeing this, I didn't get angry. Instead, I quickly took out my phone. I snapped photos of them frantically, then, satisfied, put away my phone and took a cab to the high-speed rail station. With these photos in hand, if Wang Haiyang's parents come to bother me again, I'll just throw the pictures in their faces. Once everything descends into chaos, I'll find a chance to deal with all of them. It was only when I saw Wang Haiyang holding a cup of milk tea just now that I remembered. It seemed like I hadn't bought any milk tea for myself. I opened my phone and ordered some milk tea powder. When I got home, I saw the living room was filled with all sorts of neatly packed items, and Mom was still unpacking deliveries nearby.
You're back. Have you finished packing everything?
Everything's been packed up. I've put all the organized things from the living room into the space. After dinner, I lay on the sofa, closed my eyes, and used my mind to check the things in the space. Now, all that's left are seeds and saplings. I'd discussed with Dad before that out of the 10 acres in the space, some plots would be used to grow rice, some for fruit trees, and the 2 plots in the yard would be used for vegetables. The water in the space isn't sweet spring water, so we can't grow paddy rice, but we can plant upland rice. The next morning, Dad and I went to buy seeds. After getting the seeds, we also bought some farming tools and various small agricultural implements. As soon as Dad got back, he started calculating on his phone.
Ching, I just did the math. Right now, we only have a little over 90,000 left.
Then let's not touch this money anymore. Save it for paying the utility bills in the future. There are still a few years left before the big earthquake, and there will be times when we'll need money later on. Don't spend it all at once. As the days until the apocalypse draw nearer, that night after dinner, Dad looked at me with a hesitant expression. Dad, is there something you want to say?
Ching, the heavy fog is coming tomorrow. I want to give your aunt a call.
I've heard about this aunt. Dad's parents passed away early. Dad has a younger brother and a younger sister. His brother got into trouble and is in prison, while his sister married far away. She got married at 23 and never came back after that, so I've never met her. Dad? How do you plan to tell them?
Didn't you explicitly state that the dense fog typically appears in the very early morning? I will simply call them much earlier in the morning and instruct them not to go out at all.
Dad, you and Auntie haven't really kept in touch. Now if you suddenly call her and tell her not to go out, how do you think she'll react? Dad opened his mouth as if to speak, but in the end, he just sighed and said nothing more. Looking at him like that, I felt a little guilty, but I still didn't give in. I'm not that noble, nor do I have the ability to save others. Call it selfish or callous if you want, but in this life, all I want is to protect my own little family. Mom doesn't have this kind of worry. She was raised by my grandmother. But my grandmother passed away when Mom was 16. The next morning, it poured rain. Downstairs, pedestrians hurried by, everyone busy heading to work or school, completely unaware that the apocalypse was about to arrive. In the middle of the night, a sudden thick fog enveloped the entire world. While everyone was sound asleep, no one realized that the end had already come. At 11:50, I stood by the window, staring downstairs. An hour later, a white mist slowly began to rise from the ground. After breakfast, I called my parents into the living room. Mom, Dad, starting tomorrow, we need to exercise, practice archery, and learn how to make bows and crossbows. This is a world where the strong prey on the weak. If we don't have the ability to protect ourselves, I'm afraid we'll be devoured by others. In my previous life, after Mom died, I was kicked out of my home. The building manager insisted that, since I was living alone in a 3-bedroom apartment, the family from Unit 2 on the 5th floor should move into my place. Of course I refused to agree, but the building manager simply barged in with people. After that family kicked me out, I stole a can of gasoline. Late at night, when everything was quiet, I poured the gasoline at my front door and set it on fire. If I couldn't keep my home, then I'd let it disappear along with my parents. After the earthquake, there was no relief food to collect, so I searched the ruins for something to eat. The food I managed to find was snatched away by others before I even had a chance to eat it. When I resisted, I was beaten all over and left covered in injuries. The next time someone tried to rob me, I took the steel bar I had hidden and aimed it straight at the chest of the person trying to steal my food. I struck him hard more than a dozen times. From that moment on, I realized that in this world where the strong prey on the weak, if you want to survive, you have to be even tougher than everyone else. I went back to my room and set up a daily workout plan. After dinner that night, I returned to my bedroom and watched the videos I had downloaded the night before. After all the files finished downloading, I selected hundreds more videos to download. I bought several external hard drives to store all kinds of videos. Once I was done, I lay down on my bed and picked a movie to watch. After finishing the movie, I opened the class group chat. It was just the May Day holiday, so most of my classmates weren't at school, which made the group chat really lively.
There's white fog everywhere. It feels so eerie.
Has anyone gone outside?
With such thick fog, who would go out? Don't you all think it's strange? We're not even in the same city, but there's white fog everywhere.
Do you think this could be the end of the world?
It probably won't happen. Remember that year when everyone said it would be the end of the world, but nothing happened? Until we know whether the white fog is harmful to people or not, it's better not to go outside.
You don't have to be so terribly scared, do you? It's just a bit of fog, and it doesn't even smell strange or anything at all.
I scrolled through the chat history in the group without saying anything. These past few days, we've still been exercising and cooking every day. That day, after the three of us finished working out, we were resting on the sofa, scrolling on our phones. Suddenly, Mom exclaimed in shock.
Someone died in the building.
I leaned over to look at the messages on Mom's phone.
It was Mr. Chen from 303 who passed away.
Mom curiously asked me.
Ching Ching. Didn't you say that when a leech gets into the body, it sucks blood and eventually causes death from excessive blood loss? How could someone die in just a few days?
Maybe it's because the elderly and children have weaker immune systems. Seeing the worried look on Mom's face, I comforted her, saying, Mom, it's okay. The white mist only spread up to the 9th floor and didn't go any higher. As long as we don't go outside, we'll be safe. That day, while we were following a video to learn knife skills, someone suddenly knocked on the front door. Wearing a mask, I walked to the door. I had installed 2 extra doors. The inner door was made entirely of steel, and there was another door outside. The middle part of this door could be moved. I opened the latch on the steel door and saw Wang Haiyang's parents standing at our doorstep. Is there something you need? I asked.
Hey there, you're at home, huh? I'm looking for your parents. They have something to discuss. Hurry up and open the door for a moment.
Say it. Spit it out.
Hey, what's with the way you talk, kid? Haven't seen you in a while. How did your temper get like this? I just shut the steel door, locked the inner door too, and went back to practicing.
Can't you control that mouth of yours? We're here to ask for help, so what are we supposed to do now?
Didn't you hear what he said? Is that any way to talk to your elders?
Alright, that's enough. Rein in that bad temper of yours. Do you still think you're really his elder? He's already dumped your son.
After saying that, he raised his hand and knocked on the door again. I was a bit annoyed. Ching Ching, you keep practicing. I'll go send them away. Mom put on a mask, opened the steel panel in the middle of the main door, and asked them what they wanted. Yue,